whether the team is performing clean or unsightly. We'll cover it all here on Washington Football Nightly. I, of course, am your host, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. Let's get to tonight's lead story. So, I got to thinking after watching last night's game, and Monday Night Football was eye-opening for me because, look, it was family business. I get it. The Rams, the 49ers, they know each other. I talk about this all the time. When it's two family members, you throw the records out the window. They know each other. They know how to attack that other team because they see them twice a year. And if the coaching staffs are the same, which they are in both of those respective clubs in San Francisco and L.A., then you know exactly what they do and what they don't do well, so you know how to attack them. That said, which is why Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers have beaten the Rams 5 straight times. So while I understand how that outcome came to be, it still raises a red flag for me in the sense that the NFC is wide open. Really, the entire league is open. I mean, who knows who's good in the AFC? Who knows who's good in the NFC, right? So when I look at everything in its totality, it makes you wonder, why not us, right? Like, I know it sounds crazy, guys. I do. I understand. And I don't want to talk crazy yet. I told you I wasn't going to do that yet. But it does start to plant seeds. I'm not going to lie to you. It does start to plant seeds. So I got to thinking, what are some of the things that we have to do down the stretch to give us an opportunity to finish strong enough to qualify for postseason contention? Not necessarily make the postseason, but give ourselves a chance, a fighting chance. And I came up with 5 quick things. Now, there may be other things, and I'd love to hear some of your ideas, and I'd love to hear some of your comments down in the comment section about what you think we have to do the remainder of the season to give ourselves a chance. I came up with 5 quick things. And so if you agree with them, awesome. Leave it in the comment section. If you don't, leave it in the comment section. If you've got better ones or ones to add to the list, leave it down in the comment section. So here are 5 things in no particular order that I think we need to do down the stretch to have a chance to make it to the postseason, to be in contention moving forward. Number 1, we need strong play from Heineke and the D. So ultimately, we need Heineke ultra, 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 ultra. And we need this D to be what it was against Tampa Bay moving forward. No equivocations, no exceptions. We can't have Heineke going in and out from Heineke Light to Heineke Ultra. We can't have this D having flashbacks of what it was earlier in the season. We need the defense to be what it was because this is what we thought it was going to be. More importantly, and I'm going to talk about that on tomorrow's show, live with you guys. Because honestly, what we saw against Tampa, that's what we thought we were going to see from this defense when the season started. So that's another conversation for another day. And I wanted to save that for the live show tomorrow night so we can discuss it. But Heineke's going to have to step up. And again, we don't know if the consistency will be there or not with him, but we'll see. Defense, same thing. Need strong performances from them moving forward from here on out. Next thing, consistency from the team, meaning the players on the field and the coaches, but specifically also the defensive coordinator, Jack Del Rio, offensive coordinator, Scott Turner. I thought that collectively, as a coaching staff, it was the best day of the season for both Del Rio and Scott Turner. And if you want to add Ron Rivera in there, because I thought he was spectacular in his game management from the clock to his timeout usage, to, challenging a play, to whether to kick a field goal early in the game and getting points, and then the third time ultimately saying that those field goals are cool, but this third one won't be enough. We got to go for it on 4th down. And ultimately getting the touchdown and being rewarded with the touchdown. Like, I thought it was the best game management by Rivera, and I thought Scott Turner's play calling and the ability to continue to run in the face of adversity, knowing that the Buccaneers were stopping the run and continuing to stick with it, was huge. And also Jack Del Rio's mixing up of the coverages. I thought it was spectacular. Whether, Chase Young early in the game was there or not later in the game, I thought he did a great job of mixing in coverages, rushing 3, dropping 8, coming with blitzes from multiple places, really getting Brady, giving him different looks and getting him to feel uncomfortable. So we need more of that moving forward. And we're not going to be seeing the likes of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers moving forward. We do have Russell Wilson left, and he's a dangerous man. Dangerous Russell Wilson. Yeah, he's still left on the schedule, so you don't want to overlook him. But after him, there aren't many big-time QBs left on the schedule. Dak Prescott is a top 10-ish quarterback, so I don't want to overlook him either. But there are opportunities for this defense to start to gain confidence. And it starts, to me, with the coaching staff. But this team has to play consistently on the field. But we need the coordinators to step up and put guys in the right positions to make plays. And I thought they did that this week. And we need that moving forward. And the players on the field, like they did in this game, have to respond, make plays, and take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves, like we did in this game. Health moving forward is the next key that I think we have to have. I mean, we can't afford any more injuries. Our depth is already being tested now. I think for the second year in a row, we're passing the depth test with flying colors. But at some point, you run out of depth. Okay, when the depth is being tested and you're still tapping into it, you at some point run out of depth and you start to run out of bodies. Guys that should be on the field. So we really need to stay relatively healthy moving forward. And it would be great to get some guys back. It'd be great to get Logan Thomas back. Shh, don't tell nobody, but maybe, just maybe, Curtis Samuel finds his way back to the green grass on Sundays. I don't know. It's a pipe dream right now, but, you know, it'd be great if we were able to string together a couple of victories and we look up and look who's back. Guess who's Bizak? It's number 10. That would be awesome. But I'm not holding my breath, and neither should you. But it would be great to get some more guys back from injury. And so we'll see what happens. Benjamin St. Juste should be back here shortly, with hopefully this week against Carolina. That would be a boost to the secondary. And, you know, I would like to see us stay relatively healthy. Montez Sweat, again, who knows? You put a couple of wins together, and here comes Montez Sweat. Here comes 90 back. It would be nice to get some guys back while winning and to give us a chance, but we got to stay healthy. We can't afford to have any more massive big-time injuries. We've got enough of them, and we've got enough guys on IR as is, and we've got big names on IR right now, not the, you know, the small name kind. We got some big contributors on IR right now. Hopefully we stay healthy moving forward. The next thing is field goal kicking stabilization. We hope that we've done that with Joey Sly. He's a sly guy. Do-do-do-do-do-do. We hope we've done that with Joey Sly. But again, consistency, just like I've talked about with this team, like I talked about with Heineke, like I've talked about with this staff, like I've talked about with everything else with this team. Consistency is the key. He has to be consistent from one week to the next. So I can't say with 100% certainty that Joey Sly is going to stabilize the field goal kicking situation, but it felt good on Sunday to have a kicker put it through the uprights and not really be worried about, is this kick going to be blocked at the line of scrimmage? You know, can he kick a 54-yard field goal? We know he's capable. Now it's just about consistency. He's missed extra points this season. He's missed kicks this season, but he's been much better than I've given him credit for. Going into the game on Sunday, he was 11 of 13 this season for like 3 different teams. So he's been somewhat solid. So hopefully because we're not going to win games without field goal kicking stabilization. That we know that. We're not good enough offensively to leave points on the scoreboard and overcome it. So we have to have our field goal kicking situation be solidified. If he can be that guy for us moving forward, we may have something and a chance to make a run at it down the stretch. And then finally, the last key for me is depth and unsung heroes. So last year, when we had the injuries, guys stepped up and we got contributions from guys that we weren't expecting. And we had young guys, rookies, step up, make some plays, and it really helped turn our season around. When the safeties were really attacked last year by the injury reaper, guys stepped up. Jeremy Reeves stepped up, okay? DeShazer Everett stepped up. Guys stepped up in that secondary. Cam Curl, who was expecting contributions like that from a 7th-round pick, a pick 6 against the San Francisco 49ers, and all the things that he brought to the table for this football team. Who was expecting Taylor Heineke to step in and give us quality snaps? Who was expecting our quarterback position to be what it was? Who was expecting the offensive line to have to play musical chairs and guys step up the way that they did last year? Wes Schweitzer was a prime example of a guy stepping in with injuries and giving us critical snaps during the season. What about Cornelius Lucas and what he was able to do for us last year? We need that again this year. We need guys to step up, and it's really going to have to be on that defensive line in particular. And, you know, the secondary, we may have to call on some of these corners again. Danny Johnson, every time his number's been called, he's played well. We may have to call on Darryl Roberts at some point this season. We're going to need these guys to step in and keep the party going. We just had to call on David Mayo. I don't like calling on David Mayo, but we called on David Mayo, and he wasn't terrible. He's not great. You don't want to see David Mayo on the field, but David Mayo was on the field on Sunday. So, I mean, one of the unsung heroes this season, DeAndre Carter, who would have guessed? So we need depth to really kick in, okay? And we need some unsung heroes. We know the names of the guys that we expect contributions from. We're going to need a couple of guys that you're not thinking about to step up. And I'm looking at Casey Toohill. I'm looking at James Smith-Williams. I'm looking at Shaka Toney. I'm looking at a lot of these young guys that are going to be pushed into roles that are a lot larger than we were expecting. And I'm saying we're going to need someone to step up. John Bates, I'm talking to you. A lot of young guys going to get an opportunity. Can we get some unsung heroes down the stretch? It'd be nice to get Logan Thomas back. But even if we do, you're still probably going to be looking at John Bates getting an opportunity. So we're going to need some young guys to step up. And we're going to need the depth that is being tested to be solid. Those are my 5. I could go on and on and on. But I'll leave some room for you guys, and maybe we'll discuss this tomorrow on the show as well. But what do you think about that? And if you've got something to add to it, leave it down in the comment section as we transition to in other news. So some roster moves were made today. Obviously, Chase Young placed on IR. His season is done. We talked about his injury yesterday. So the question was, what are they going to do? So what they decided to do was they brought Daniel Wise up from the practice squad. He's now on the active roster. He was really impressive in the preseason, so he'll get an opportunity now. We'll see what he does with it. And then they brought back Tamarick Hemingway. Remember, I wondered, what are they going to do at tight end? Because they released Jay Sternberger from the practice squad. He was no longer a member of this team. So they went and got their old buddy, Tamarick Hemingway. He's now on the practice squad. We'll see what happens with the tight end position. If Logan Thomas can't be activated this week, then Tamarick Hemingway, more likely than not, will be active on Sunday. They know they can rely on him. They know he knows the offense. He can slide right in. And again, it'll be John Bates' show, and probably Samis Reyes will be second. So again, I talked about that depth. I talked about unsung heroes. There you go. The tight end position will be one big depth-related unsung hero story that we'll need some guys to step up and potentially make some plays. So those are the roster moves made because of the injury to Chase Young and now Ricky Seals-Jones as well. So we'll see how things go. And tomorrow is obviously going to be a big day. We'll see some things, but we won't have any definitive answers on Wednesday. Obviously, that's the day that if you're not going to practice, that's the day you're not going to practice. Wednesday is that day. The list might be long in terms of injuries, and we may look at it and say, wow, there's 12 guys on this list, but it might narrow down like it usually does to about 4 guys that may not play. You know what I'm saying? So tomorrow will be interesting, and that's when we'll really start to turn our attention to the Panthers. I've watched them. I watched that Cardinals game. They were impressive. I'm not going to lie to you, but they can be beaten. Like, I'm not afraid of them by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll see what happens with that football game. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow on the show live. And if you're a member of the MOBB, be on the lookout for studs and duds. That should be coming your way tomorrow as well. And then we'll turn the page to the Carolina Panthers. So that's going to do it for me. Your man Louie T here on the Tuesday installment of Washington Football Nightly. I am a Washington fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Washington spirit will never die. Washington spirit will never fold. Until we meet again, hail to our beloved Washington football team. Look forward to chopping it up with you guys live on Wednesday night. Until then, you guys, take care. Have a good one.
Here comes the diesel. Here comes the diesel. Hunting. There's the snap, hand to Riggins. Good hold. He's got the first down to the 40. He's gone. The 35, the 30.